Hello again and welcome back to the channel. So today I have the last review in Super 7's first wave of Ultimate G.I. Joes, this one being the Cobra Commander. Now I picked up all four from the Big Bad Toy Store. They are still available. They retail for about $55 US, which is about 70 to 75 Australian dollars, something like that. So they are pretty expensive. In my opinion, I think they're a little bit more steered towards the collector, the adult collector market than say classified, but that's just my opinion. Taking a look at the box. Oh, in fact, there we are. That was a total accident, but yeah, there you go. Adult collectible, not a toy. So yeah, I just think that they are a little bit pricier because of that. Regardless, taking a look at the packaging. So this nice big embossed Cobra that we saw with the bat, and then the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive bat as well. Something we haven't seen before. Then on the side, CBR or Cobra 01. On the back, G.I. Joe embossed, and then taking off this slip cover. There we are, a Cobra Commander, and the bio for him, and then some shots from the animated series. And then flipping him round, there he is with all of his accessories. I have to say though, that soft goods cape looks a little bit bigger than I remember in the renders. Anyway, let's open it up and take a closer look. Okay, so here is the Cobra Commander out of the box with all of his accessories, and he comes with a ton of accessories, including an alternate head, a laser rifle, a commander pistol, a laser pistol, a high frequency pistol, one pair of binoculars, a remote detonator, a synthoid neutralizer, a Cobra scepter, a Cobra and globe, left and right hot trigger finger hands, an additional right trigger finger hand, a left holding hand, a right pointing hand, a right splayed hand, a right fisted hand for the scepter, and a left open hand for the globe and Cobra. And of course, his soft goods cape. So let's start off with taking a closer look at that soft goods cape. This is what I had a little bit of concern about when I saw it in the box. It just looked a little bit bigger than in those initial renders. I mean, the renders always look much better, but now that it's in hand, it's actually a nice piece. So it's quite thick. It feels like it's double fabric. It is, in fact, yeah, two pieces of fabric stitched together, and it has a wire all the way around and at the bottom, and then I think these are just two clasps. I thought they were magnetic, but I don't believe they are. I think it's just a case of bending it over. I think that's the case. I don't see any other way of getting it on there. Pretty sure it's just a case of manipulating that wire so that it's on, and you can do it quite easily. And it's actually not bad. It isn't bad at all. Yeah, I've come around. So that's a very nice piece. And then let's take a look at that alternate head sculpt. So it is essentially the same with one difference, the piece across the top. That is the only distinction between the two. Would have been nice to have the hooded version, but I know that there's a little bit of controversy around that particular sculpt, and also if they do bring it out, they'd probably release a completely different version. And then also, let's take a quick look at this Cobra and globe. This is a nice piece, very nicely sculpted. It is a single piece. It looks like it was a separate piece, the globe, but no, it's not. And that forked tongue is really well done as well. And this fits into this particular hand with the peg. So you literally just peg it in that hole underneath. And then you can have him holding it. I'll pose him up a bit later. And then moving on, this is a new rifle. So we haven't seen this one so far. quite solid, quite sturdy. It does have it looks like it's slightly warped, but then maybe that's just the way that it's supposed to be. Regardless, it's a nice piece. Just a straightforward flat blue. Yeah, you can see it is ever so slightly warped, but a bit of heat will correct that. And then this, according to his accessories list, is the Commander pistol. I'm assuming this is the Commander pistol. It just says a Commander pistol. My assumption is that this would be the Commander pistol because of the Cobra logo, and this would be the laser pistol. And then he also comes with this high frequency pistol. It's quite nicely done. There's even some paintwork there for some gauges. And then his binoculars. Now, these are really nicely done, and I'm curious why they didn't use this soft, flexible material for Duke's binoculars. Was it a case that they just wanted to completely replicate those original binoculars that came with the vintage figure? Because I would have preferred these on that figure. So yeah, not really sure why they didn't do that. But these are very nice. And then his remote detonator. Not much really to say about this. I think you can actually get that into one of his hands. I think one of the hands looks like it's specifically built. Yeah. And then this, I had to look this up, the Synthoid Neutralizer. Can't remember when he uses this. This here is a sticker. I guess that's the only way they could have done it, really. I don't think I'll be displaying him with this, but whatever it is, nice to have it included. And then, before we get to the hands, his scepter. And he does have a hand which is specifically for this scepter. So just popping it down. There we are. So that's a very nice touch. Super 7 have thought of it all. And then the hands are, we'll just have to take a quick look at a couple. Won't go into too much detail. The hands are very similar to what we've seen before. Obviously, they're in this black glossy finish for his gloves. And the only distinct two that he has really are these. So this one here, the open splayed hand, and the pointing finger hand, similar to what we had with Duke. So, really good accessories. Okay, so taking a look at the Cobra Commander. Now, this is a beautiful figure. When I think of the Cobra Commander, this is what I have in my mind's eye. I was really pleased and at the same time disappointed with the Classified's release of the Cobra Commander. I liked the Regal version because it was a little bit more like this one. And then I saw that the His tank had, I think if we reached a certain goal, we would get a Classified Cobra Commander in this look. But that was really cool, but I was disappointed because I didn't back that project. Living in Australia, not only was it too expensive, but getting something of that size shipped over would just be an absolute joke. Looking closely at the figure, it's really, really well done. It's less is more in this case, and I don't think they needed to overdo it. This is a nice, clean look. You've got the really, really cool matte finish, which I like about Super 7. I said it before. That is what appeals to me. Taking a closer look at the articulation, I don't think we're going to have any surprises here. I've changed the head, I prefer this head. It is just a single dumbbell joint going up like all the other figures, so you don't get any down at all, literally to there and that's it. You do get a little bit of up, slightly hindered by the back of his helmet, so to about there, but you do get complete rotation. And then he has a full ball joint at the shoulder, so up to probably about there. You probably could go a little bit further, but I'm not going to risk it. I haven't put this under the hairdryer. And then bicep swivel, as you'd expect. There's a ball joint at the elbow, so he gets to about there. And then he has complete backwards and forwards on the hinge at the wrist, and then it is on a peg, so complete rotation as well. He has the higher crunch, so you can get ab crunch to about there. Not really anything to write home about. It's pretty poor. And then back to about there. But he does have the rolled off hips, so you can get complete range of motion at the waist. And his belt is a slightly softer material, so it doesn't really hinder it. It's like a rubbery plastic. And then legs, we're going to have the same issue that we had with all the others. Up to about there, out to about there, but then you're not getting any back because of his arse. Yeah. So same issue that we had with the others. And then single jointed knee. Now these knees are a little bit nicer than we've seen so far. It has this like a lip that just, if it's like that, it looks a little bit unsightly, but you can't get around that. But when he's just standing there with his straight legs, that's a nice touch. It almost looks like a boot. I guess this is supposed to be like a boot guard or something. So that's a nice touch. And then moving down, he has a rocker at the ankle. So the articulation is exactly what we've come to expect with Super 7's figures so far. And in terms of scale, here he is next to the Super 7 Duke and the Regal classified Cobra Commander. Okay, so my final thoughts on Super 7's G.I. Joe Ultimate Cobra Commander. This for me is yet another example of Super 7 getting it right. A nice clean looking figure, very accurate to that original TV show, and heaps of accessories. I know that these figures aren't for everyone, and if you're more in favour of a classified, more modern look, then yeah, I can understand this isn't going to be appealing to you. But for me, they've absolutely nailed it. I really like the look of this figure, and I'm keen to see, will they have variations in the future? Will we get an armoured Cobra Commander? I'd love to see that. I can highly recommend this figure. He is still available on the Big Bad Toy Store. Retails at $55, so don't delay, get him because he probably won't last very long. So that about wraps it up. I certainly hope that you've enjoyed the review, and if you like my content, then please do consider subscribing. Everything helps. Until next time, take care.